Hi, my name is Boris, and in this video I'm about to show you how to add some grit onto your percussion. If you're using well-recorded samples, chances are that the sounds by themselves are going to sound very clean, and you can easily add a little bit of dirt, a little bit of grit with the rack that we're going to create today. We're going to do it on this percussion group, and we're going to create this dirty highs rack. But you don't have to use it on groups, you can use it on single elements obviously as well. Right, so let's play back the track and I will enable the effects later. Okay, so before we get into the details, if you like what we're doing, consider subscribing for more Ableton Live tips like this one. And this project file we're working on is part of our Organica pack and it's available in the link in the description. Right, so let's get started. This dirty highs chain consists of 3 effects, a frequency shifter, a vocoder, and a redux. And for all of these 3, I have chosen a single element that we have mapped onto our macros. And I have chosen a single parameter for each of these that changes the timbre of our sound. For the frequency shifter, it is this coarse pitch knob. For the vocoder, it's formants. And for redux, it's the rate. And we have it all laid out over here. So we are changing the timbre of our sound with this section. And down there, we have the dry wet, obviously. So we are mixing in some of these effects. And we are going to create something like this from scratch. So I'm just going to disable it for now. Let's fold it. Before we get started, I'm just going to show you quickly the chain that we have applied here. We are not going to modify anything that's going on here. This is just a little bit of compression and multi-band compression and a slight EQ that boosts our highs. Right, so the first effect we're going to add is our frequency shifter. So double clicking on that from the audio effects tab. And we're going to shift the frequency knob a little bit. Let's listen back. This is almost as if we were pitching it down, and this effect is really nice in my opinion. You could even add a little bit of an LFO here, but we are just shifting the frequencies. We can now use the dry wet to mix it in. Okay, so I like it around 30% and I went minus around 4 kHz with this frequency knob. Right, so the next effect is going to be a vocoder and it's a really great way of adding some really cool noisy feeling to your hi-hats or your percussions. Okay, so the vocoder is over here and all we need to do is just mess around with dry wet for now. You can hear that it really affects your sound. You can add a little bit of a high pass over here so that it doesn't modify as much of the lows. And I have mixed it in around 15%. So the third effect is going to be redux. And here we are going to degrade the sample rate to make it a little bit more lo-fi. So let's do that. And I like it around 18 kHz, and we can also blend it in with this dry wet control.
Just a quick break before we go back to the tutorial. If you find these type of videos helpful, we can highly recommend the PML Academy with over 35 full-length online courses, spreading over topics like writing chords and melodies or arranging your songs to producing entire songs from start to finish. So check out the link in the description to see what's inside the all courses bundle exactly.
Right, so now we can A/B between the dry signal and all of our effects that we have added. We can do that easily by grouping them. So selecting the last one, holding Shift and selecting the first one and clicking Command and G on Mac or Control and G on Windows. And now we can A/B by pressing this button. And as you can hear, it really spices up our signal. Now we can add the macros that I've mentioned at the beginning, and we don't need as many, so we can press the minus sign. We can just work with our 6 macros. We can map it by pressing this M button. Now we can map the frequency knob to the first one, the formant knob from the vocoder to the second one, and the rate from the Redux to the third one. Now we can map the dry-wet from the frequency shifter below the coarse pitch. We can map the dry-wet from the vocoder below the formant shift control, and we can map the dry-wet from the Redux below the sample rate. Now, the only thing I haven't changed yet is the vocoder's formant shift control, so maybe we can mess around with that. And I actually like it a little bit higher. And blending it in just slightly. So now you can always change your colors. Now it's a little bit clearer which control belongs to which effect. Okay, so A-Bing it once again. And that's it. You can always rename and save this track. I have called it Dirty Highs and I have saved it already. And you can always put it on any single element to add a little bit of grit. It actually can be used in all kinds of genres, not only organic house. It is going to be really useful in techno production, for example. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Consider checking out our Music Production Academy. And because we've got a lot of start to finish courses for both beginners and more advanced producers, subscribe and hit the notification bell as well. And like and comment if you like this video. And I will see you in the next one.